Hello there everyone, and thanks very much for joining me for the very first episode of my brand new Let's Play series called the Exile Academy, where we'll be looking to fire Newport County as high up the Football League pyramid as possible before the end of the FM20 cycle. If you've seen the teaser trailer for the series, you'll know that there's in fact a plot twist that makes the challenge that little bit more difficult, and that is the fact that we're only allowed to sign players of Welsh heritage. If you haven't seen the trailer, please do go back and give it a watch, as it will give you all the information you need to understand what we're trying to achieve with the project, and I will tag that video in the description. So before we take a look at the club in a bit more detail and depth, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to Sergeant Red Phoenix, who made the custom kits especially for this save. I'm sure you'll agree they're really high quality looking kits. Did a fantastic job, literally needed 0 revisions. I gave him the brief and he absolutely smashed out the park, so thanks again to him. We decided to go with a really cool local brand as the kit so-called sponsor, although obviously they're not physically sponsoring the series at all, and they are called Tiny Rebel, and they are a small brewery based out of Newport in South Wales called Tiny Rebel. So go and check out their craft ales and whatnot if you're into that type of thing. Let's take a look at the club then, guys. Obviously we are playing as Newport County, based out of South Wales, so we have some rivalries with other clubs that are also based in South Wales, such as Swansea, Cardiff, Merthyr Tydfil Town, etc. Although we don't have any, we technically don't have any derby games whatsoever. But I can't imagine Cardiff will be selling us any players anytime soon. We are actually affiliated with Swansea, which could well come in handy, you know, when we're looking to bring players in that are probably at a higher calibre than we can expect to have at Newport, hopefully on loan deals, etc. So I'm sure we will be utilising that throughout the save. We play our football at the Rodney Parade Ground in Newport, South Wales. Capacity of just under 12,000, which, you know, I'm sure that's fine for now, but if we are to meet our lofty ambitions for the club, then we may well have to extend the Rodney Parade or look to build a new ground in the future. So if we have a quick look at some key personnel, then our club captain at the moment is Mickey Dimitriou, who is, I mean, it says he's English, but I imagine there is some Greek or Cypriot heritage there. Let's have a quick look at him, shall we? Information. He speaks Spanish, basic Spanish. No, so I'm wrong. Don't think there's any Greek or Cypriot heritage there whatsoever. So anyway, he does look like a decent player for us at the back. Pretty solid option. Not Welsh though, which could prove to be a problem when it comes to his medium to long term future at Newport. Our key player then, a young man called Josh Sheehan, who is 24 and Welsh. Fantastic stuff. And he looks like a solid option for us. He's a 4-star player, currently playing close to his maximum potential. So that's interesting. A former Swansea player, as we can see there. And I imagine he will be very important for us this season. But time will tell on that one. Should we have a quick look then at the finances? So overall balance is looking okay. We projected to make a decent enough profit over the course of the season. Season budget is, you know, nothing special, but we should be able to get by with that. The available wage budget of 2.9k, I mean, doesn't give us an awful lot of wiggle room. We might have to look to offload some of the higher earners in the team to bring in some young Welsh lads. We will see. The average wage being just under £900 a week, so that gives you a little insight into the kind of level we're operating at here and the calibre of player we're going to be able to sign. If we have a quick look at the transfer budgets in a bit more detail then. So we've got £40,000 to spend on transfers. I can't imagine we're going to get too much business done for that. The board are willing to let us have 35% of any transfer revenue we bring in, which again doesn't give us too much wiggle room. Might look to try and negotiate that. And as we covered before, the available wage budget doesn't give us too much room for manoeuvre. So let's have a look at the facilities we have available to us at the club then. As you can see, pretty average slash below average across the board. Considering we're looking to produce some decent youth players out of the youth system at the club, we haven't really got the facilities to do that just now. So any money we do bring in, I think we'll be spending on upgrading those facilities. And we could also do with much better youth recruitment as well. I suppose because we are in South Wales and surrounded by at least two bigger clubs than ourselves in Swansea and Cardiff, it could be a bit of a scrap for us to try and get any kind of quality youth prospects coming through the ranks. It may be a case of trying to poach some youngsters from those bigger clubs on a yearly basis, but we shall see. Let's have a quick look at the club vision and expectations then, before we sign off on them. So the club are asking us not to sign players over the age of 30, which is something I tend to do anyway. In fact, I don't really sign anyone over the age of 27 unless they are going to significantly improve the first team and offer us sort of stuff off the pitch as well in terms of mentoring groups, etc. They're asking us to work within the wage budget. I mean, it's going to be tough, but we have to do it. So it might be a case again, like I say, of offloading some players and bringing in some others that are willing to play for the club for less money. In terms of on the pitch progress, the club are looking for us to finish in the top half of League Two, which, you know, should be doable. I can't see why not. They want us to reach the second round in the FA Cup, which again, you know, without really getting stuck into the squad and analysing that, I can't tell you whether I think that'll be doable or not. I think we're kind of in the hands of the gods there with regards to the FA Cup draw as well, and the same for the League Cup, guys. By the end of our second season, they'd like to be reaching the playoffs. So that's interesting then if we make it into the second season without getting sacked, which I'm hopeful we will, and I'm fairly confident we will. They will be looking for us to secure a playoff spot. Our contract then expires, and after that they are wanting to win promotion to Sky Bet League One. So let's see if we can deliver that for them and keep ourselves in the job. Looking at the squad then, one of the first things you'll notice is that for a Welsh club, with the sort of transfer policy that we're looking to implement at the club, an all Welsh transfer policy that is, we don't seem to have an awful lot of Welshmen at our disposal, which is a bit of a problem. So we're looking for players that either have their first or second nationality as Welsh. So not too many of those at the club at the moment. That's something we're going to have to put right, and I'll look to make a big dent in that in this very first transfer window through wheeling and dealing in the transfer market if I can. In terms of overall quality and ability, we've got a couple of 4-star players, a lot of 3.5s, some 3-star players. Looking at the ages of some of the players then, we've got a fair proportion of the squad that are under the age of 24, but it is a bit of an aging squad by my sort of standards, I guess, in terms of what I look for in a squad. Got a lot of players in their late 20s. Again, they could be on larger wages, which means that by offloading them, we could free up some money and bring in a sort of higher quantity of Welsh youngsters. So that could be a window of opportunity. Looking at our best 11 then, at the moment, without making any signings or whatnot, I think this is our strongest 11 on paper. As you can see, the main man, Sheehan, is going to be operating in that advanced playmaker role. I'm quite happy with our back three in terms of our keeper and our centre-backs, actually. The half-back's going to be a tricky role to fill at this level. We're obviously adopting the back attack tactic because I really want to see how it performs at this level. It's quite a demanding tactic and formation, so it will be interesting to see if the guys at Newport can cope with it and thrive. Not best pleased with the options that we have at inside forward. We could do with a higher calibre of player there, especially on that right hand side. And again on the left hand side, yeah, I'm not happy with these inside forwards at all, guys. We are going to have to jump into the transfer market and make some quality additions to the squad, I think. I have got a few names in mind, and I will be searching for Welsh players. I have set up my scouting accordingly. I'll just show you that now. So within my player search, we're obviously limited in terms of our player search sort of, what's the word?
Eventually.
Catchment, I suppose. Catchment, is that the right word? Not sure. Anyway, we're limited by our player search options in terms of the packages that we have. We can't afford to be paying for those top tier packages that I like to have when I'm sort of hand searching for players myself. But as you can see here, we are set up to look for players that are either Welsh or they are partially Welsh, so their second nationality is Welsh. So I think then it's time for me to love and leave you, go away and do some wheeling and dealing in the transfer market, and come back to you with an update. So I'll be back very soon, guys. Hello again, guys. I am back with what should have been a transfer update for you. However, it's proven very difficult to find players at this level that are, in fact, Welsh nationals. And by that I mean there's a lot of released players that are below the standard that we need, and not many above the standard, but bearing in mind the financial issues we have in terms of not having much in the budget to get business done, it's been pretty difficult. A couple of deals we have managed to do so far is, so anything from here below is what I've actually done myself. Everything else was done by the club previously. So we've brought in Nico Williams on loan, which is a really good bit of business. Comes in from Liverpool. Really high standard of player for Newport. Exactly what we're looking for in a wing back. So I'm really excited about that one. Second signing was young Jaden Ali on a free. Now, he's not going to set the world alight, but he could improve a fair bit. And on a free transfer, it seemed like a decent deal to do. I think he's going to play most of his football in the 23s until he sort of shows us something to make us think that, you know, he could play at a higher level. I did quite like the fact that he's got 14 passing, 13 work rate and 13 marking, guys. His determination obviously isn't bad, and he is a relatively tall player. So I'm hoping that he could make the step up soon. But like I said, not much done in terms of transfer business just yet, but I am working on a few deals. So I'm looking to bring an update to you very soon with regards to those. It's not all doom and gloom though, because our pre-season form has been absolutely outstanding. So we started off with a nice little friendly against the 23s. I always like to do that, just have an inter-squad friendly to assess the quality of the youth players. So, you know, didn't expect to lose that game, and we didn't. But we've had a couple of friendlies against some decent sides. Rochdale are a decent team. Doncaster, not a bad side. And we were obviously undefeated in pre-season. We conceded in our first two friendly games, but after that, guys, it's been perfect, really. Some big wins in there. As you'll see, a 5-0 win over our senior affiliate club, Swansea, which I did not expect. Was absolutely over the moon with that. So things are looking good. And, you know, the season has crept up on us, the start of the season. We are due to play our very first league game of the season already. I would have liked to have done some more transfer business before this game, but here we have it. So here we are then, guys, the opening day in the league, and we are up against Mansfield at home. Now, although we're at home, we're still not the favourites to take the 3 points here. The lineup is going to be largely players that were already at the club before I took over. So we've got King in goal, who looks like a decent option. Demetriou and Hawkins at the back, with Bennett playing half-back for us. Full-backs, or wing-backs rather, of Haynes and Nico Williams, who is the one player we did manage to bring in the first team. Midfield, we've got Dolan and Sheehan. Sheehan being a really important player for us this season. I'm intrigued to see how he gets on in the first game. Inside forwards of Collins and Waters. Again, not ideal inside forwards, but we've got to play with what we've got so far. And then up front, we've got Matt here. I am actually looking into bringing in some forward players. So it'll be interesting to see how these guys get on. You know, whether they can stake their claim for a place in the side, or whether they just confirm my thoughts that I am going to have to bring some players in. So let's get into the game then, guys. There's not much more to say and do really before we kick the season off. So let's give a bit of a pep talk before the game. Ask the assistant to do the opposition instructions. Let's give the fans something to cheer today. That's obviously worked, an absolute treat. Fantastic. I'm having no impact whatsoever. Oh wait, there we go. Some people seem motivated and happy, at least. Okay then, so let's get stuck into our first game of the season. The boys are reacting well to the team talk, I see, which is always nice. And here we are with an attack of our own. Can we get across into the box? We can, but they clear it. Only as far as Sheehan. Here's Collins. And the keeper makes a good save. Although Collins was offside anyway, so it wouldn't have counted. Okay, chance for us to play out of the back here. We find Nico Williams well. And he is on his bike down that side. Edge of the box. What a strike that is from Matt Dolan. And what a goal to kick off our league campaign and to kick off the series, guys. Nico Williams with the assist from the wide area. He picks out Dolan fantastically, who picks out the far corner. Keeper has absolutely no chance, and we're off to a flyer. Here's Waters now. Another cross into the box. They half deal with it. We're causing problems here. Here's Collins. They block the shot again. Williams gets the corner. Dolan to take. Whips it in. They clear it the first time of asking. And that's the end of the highlight there. Okay. I will take that, guys. That was a very, very good first half for us. But there's still room for improvement. A lot more to come from everyone, is the team talk we shall give. Now let's get back out there and build on that first half, shall we? I think the first substitution is going to have to be our striker. But do we actually have someone to come in? We've conceded. Nicky Maynard with a header. Cross from the wide area. Maynard's on the end of it. Yeah, we lose the ball cheaply in the wide area here and we cause our own problems. Maynard's free as a bird. Right. Okay, Waters is a first choice striker, but he is playing out wide for us at the moment. I think it's going to have to be Amond here, who steps in up front. Couple of players looking a little bit more tired than others, but we'll give this a go. Chance to put some pressure on the ball here as they have some possession in the middle third, but they quickly turn it into a goal scoring opportunity and they find the back of the net. That's very disappointing. 2-1 down at home on the opening day. Again, another goal conceded from a cross. That is not ideal. Still enough time in this game to get back into it. As we blaze a chance over the bar there. Do we have any more changes that we can make? Collins is having a torrid time. Who can step in there though? It'll have to be Wilmot, I think. We're still getting to grips with this squad. Still sort of finding out what our best options are, really. All over the pitch. Just going to pause it. We're going to have to go very attacking. Oh, Waters is dispossessed easily. Bennett with an aimless ball out. It gets picked up by the defence. Demetriou. We're dispossessed in the middle of the park again. And they're through on goal. That could have been the end of the game there, but the keeper's pulled off a good stop. We've left it very late if we're going to get anything from this game. And it doesn't look likely right about now. But that's a good ball out into the channel. Pulls it back for the fullback Haynes. Whips it in. Wilmot whips it in again. Oh, Billy Waters at the back stick. Get in. Get in, lads. That's a really well worked goal. And we've fought right until the end here. Picking up the equaliser in the 89th minute. And Waters finds himself free as a bird at the back stick just to nod it home. And that is fantastic stuff from the boys. We'll go back to attacking now. Is there a chance that we can steal this game? It's looking very unlikely. But so did the equaliser. As we force them home. I think that's probably going to be it. No, the ref hasn't put the whistle to his mouth just yet, and he does do now. And to be honest, I think we were full value for at least a point, and so I can't be too upset with that, considering we've not really had a chance to add to the squad during the summer. There were certainly some positives, and we'll take the point and be grateful for it, and hopefully carry a bit of momentum and take the positives into the next game against Cambridge. So I must apologise, guys. I'd usually want to bring you at least 2 fixtures per episode, but I think as this one has been episode 1, we've had a lot to cover in terms of delving into the club in some detail and the squad and whatnot. I was hoping to have some more transfer news for you as well, but that's proving to be quite tricky in terms of the recruitment. So unfortunately, we are going to have to call it there for this episode, as I don't want it running on too long. But I will be back with episode 2, where I'll talk about any transfers we have managed to get done, and we'll also play our next few games. I'll make a judgment call on when to come back in terms of the fixture list based on how much of an update I've got for you guys. Obviously, you don't want it to be no progress, so I'll have to make a call on that. But I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Please do smash that like button if you have. If you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe to the channel because it helps out massively. I really appreciate all your support, but until next time, guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.